The snow came in slow, heavy waves, blanketing the small town of Red Pine in white and silver. Amelia Ray didn't mind snow in theory, but she wasn't exactly dressed for a blizzard. Her heels crunched uselessly in the drift as she stomped toward the only lit window on the entire street, a glowing little bakery with fogged glass and a wooden sign swinging in the wind that read, "The Sugar Post." She pushed the door open, sending a gust of icy air and wind-blown hair inside. The warm scent of sugar, cinnamon, and butter instantly melted her mood. Her eyes blinked as they adjusted to the golden light. It was rustic, charming. Mismatched chairs, wide countertops, glowing pastry cases. And behind the counter, tall and carved from pure brooding energy, was a man who looked about as thrilled to see her as a cat in a bathtub. "Whatever you're selling, we're closed," he said, not looking up as he kneaded a ball of dough. "Not selling, just trying not to freeze to death," Amelia said, stomping snow from her boots. "Also, hello. That's the rudest first line I've ever gotten from a man." He finally glanced up, and wow, his eyes were glacier blue, his jaw shadowed by scruff, and his forearms were rolling dough like it owed him money. She straightened her coat. "I'm Amelia Ray. I'm supposed to be writing a food piece on charming small-town bakeries. But apparently, the universe hates me and wants me to die in a snowbank." He blinked. "Ray, as in Ray reviews everything?" "That's me," she said, attempting a bright smile despite the fact her hair was wet and her toes were numb. He went back to kneading. "Figures." Her smile dropped. "Do we have a problem, Mr. Grayson?" he said flatly. "And no problem. Just didn't know I was going to have a critic show up in the middle of a snowstorm." Believe me, this was not the plan. She moved closer to the pastry case, rubbing her hands. "Do you have power?" "For now. Generator's old. Rooms are full at the inn. You might be stuck here tonight." She blinked. "Wait, here? There's a guest room upstairs." He said it like it was a punishment. "If you're not afraid of flour and silence." "Sounds like a party," she muttered. Grayson didn't smile. The upstairs room was small, cozy, and definitely above a bakery. She could smell yeast and sugar through the floorboards. She changed into leggings and a borrowed sweatshirt that smelled like wood smoke and something comfortingly male. The storm howled outside, but downstairs, the oven still glowed. She patted down in socks, drawn by the light and the smell of, oh God, cinnamon. Grayson stood behind the counter, sleeves rolled up, still working. The man looked like a sculptor of bread. His movements were smooth, confident, and maddeningly quiet. "I can help," she said, tugging her sleeves down. "I mean, if I'm here, I might as well contribute." He looked skeptical. "You bake?" "I decorate cupcakes when I'm stress spiraling. That count?" His mouth twitched. Not a smile, but close. "Sure, come ruin my dough." She joined him, flour flying almost immediately. She was a mess. He was methodical. They were opposites in every possible way. She was chatty, flirty, messy. He was reserved, precise, unamused, but somehow it worked. She stole a bite of warm, gooey cinnamon roll straight from the tray and groaned. "That's illegal. That is actual mouth sin." Grayson raised a brow. "It's just cinnamon and sugar." "It's a hug disguised as food," she moaned. "Your grandma's recipe?" His hands stilled. "Yeah, she taught me everything. When she passed, I left the city and came back to run this place." Amelia blinked. "You were in the city?" "Chicago, pastry chef, Michelin star madness, burned out, lost someone." He didn't elaborate. She didn't push. That night, over mugs of cocoa, they sat at the bakery window watching snow fall in soft sheets. The bakery was dark but warm, lit by strings of lights across the windows. "Why cinnamon?" she asked softly. Grayson looked over. "Why not?" "I hate it," she admitted. That got a real reaction. He turned to face her fully. "What?" She sipped her cocoa. "When I was a kid, my mom and I used to bake together. She always used too much cinnamon. I told her I wanted to open a bakery when I grew up. Then she left." Cinnamon tastes like disappointment now. His eyes softened. I could use less, just for you. She swallowed. You don't even like me. He looked at her, long and slow. That's what you think? Their eyes held. The silence buzzed. Amelia's breath caught. He didn't kiss her, but he didn't have to. It was all there, in the look, the pause, the tension thick as caramel. The next day, the snow kept falling. Amelia, undeterred, insisted on helping him deliver pastries to the neighbors. Wrapped in scarves and carrying boxes, they trudged through the town, Amelia laughing as she slipped on ice, Grayson steadying her with one firm hand at her waist. He grumbled every time she spoke to strangers, but his eyes never stopped watching her. The storm, it seemed, had brought more than cold. That night, back at the bakery, Grayson taught her how to roll dough properly. Like this, he said, standing behind her, guiding her hands. Her back pressed into his chest. His breath tickled her neck. Her fingers slowed. You're doing that thing. What thing? Being unexpectedly hot while baking. He chuckled, deep and low. You're not bad, sunshine. You might even be useful. High praise, she teased, tilting her head to meet his gaze. It was the perfect moment. She was warm all over. His hands lingered on hers. Their faces were inches apart. And still, he didn't kiss her. The tension throbbed between them like a second heartbeat. Why won't you kiss me? She whispered. Grayson stepped back like burned. Because I don't want it to be a mistake. Her chest ached. Who said it would be? But he didn't answer. The next morning, the roads opened. Her phone pinged with work emails, her editor demanding copy, reminders of the world she belonged to. Grayson stood in the bakery doorway, arms crossed. So, he said. So, she echoed. You going back? I should. He looked at the floor. Right. She hesitated. Thank you for everything, and for letting me ruin your kitchen. He reached behind the counter and handed her a box, tied in red ribbon. Cinnamon rolls, he said. One for the road. Her throat tightened. Thanks, Grump. He didn't smile, just nodded. She turned to leave, then paused, looked back. He was still standing there, still not saying what she wanted to hear. So she left. The hotel room was fine, clean, sterile, impersonal. Amelia stared at her laptop for a long time before typing. The review poured out like honey, slow and sweet, and full of something deeper than food. She wrote about the town, the bakery, the storm. She wrote about the cinnamon, too warm, too tender, too close to something she didn't want to forget. And then, at the end, she wrote, I came looking for a story about sugar and spice, but I found something sweeter. I'm not going home, I already found it. Grayson read the article the next morning, his coffee halfway to his mouth. He read the ending twice. The bell above the bakery door rang. He looked up, and there she was. Amelia Ray, wearing his old hoodie, holding 2 coffees and a bag of flour. I thought you might need help with the morning rush, she said softly. He didn't speak, just walked over and pulled her into his arms. This time he kissed her, slow, deep, like he had something to say with his mouth full of cinnamon. Epilogue. They added a new item to the menu, sunshine cinnamon rolls, with just a little too much spice and a lot of soft in the middle. Tourists came for the article. Locals came for the love story. And every morning before the oven started, Grayson pulled Amelia in, kissed her forehead, and said, Still think cinnamon tastes like disappointment? She always answered the same way, by kissing him back.
Thank you so much for watching. All my stories are written by me, and I hope you enjoy them. I upload new videos daily, so I hope you'll hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'd also love to hear what you think about this story in the comments, and feel free to tell me what kinds of stories you'd like me to bring to the channel in the future.